can say models, plural, because there are going to be at least 3 phones this year, at least, and these 2 represent the main ones, the Galaxy S10 and the Galaxy. So, first of all, like I said, we're actually expecting at least 3 phones, and that would be Galaxy S10, Galaxy S10 Plus, and then a Galaxy S10e or S10 Lite, sort of a lightweight model. So the S10 being the standard 6.1-inch display, 3,500 milliamp hour battery, and the S10 Plus being the bigger brother, the 6.44-inch display. And they definitely still feel like Samsung phones, and they look like them, right? So they're still familiar, nothing super drastic here. It's still going to be glass on the back, and even though these models aren't glass, they're fingerprint magnets already with that smooth, flat back. And they still have a second specialty button on the left side under the volume rocker that will probably be an unchangeable Bixby button again. What I can say is it feels more like a mini Note 9 than a larger S9. And I mean just because it's a little bit boxier with a little bit more square of a corner radius. So it just kind of looks more like a Note than an S. But then it still has very thin side bezels. This holds up with what we've seen in the renders. The Infinity Edge display is still taken to the absolute maximum. And on the back, placement-wise, looks like the fingerprint sensor will probably be the biggest question still. It looks to me like the back of the phone here is now just the cameras, the flash, and then the biometrics like the heart rate sensor, etc. And the fingerprint reader will be underneath the glass of the display. But obviously that and the hole punch cameras are the things you can't really tell from the case mockups. But you can see actually that they did include the dual cameras versus the single cameras. So single front-facing camera on the S10 and dual front-facing cameras on the S10 Plus. So we're thinking it gets a regular selfie camera and a super wide-angle selfie camera like the Pixel 3 has right now, which I love. And it also shows triple rear cameras on both the S10 and the S10 Plus. So one standard camera, one telephoto camera, and then one super wide-angle camera like we saw with the LG already this year. And we have rumored, of course, screen going all the way to the sides. We have the bezels on the top and the bottom going almost again right up to the edge. And then the earpiece is now a sort of this slot at the very, very top of the phone. I mean, Samsung never really seems to take speakers super seriously. They never go super hard with the audio. But you can still see it does keep that headphone jack. And I think this may be the last year Samsung keeps it around. So if you're dead set on keeping a headphone jack in your next phone, this is probably going to be the only flagship option available for you. This or maybe the next Galaxy Note. And overall, just feel in the hand, I like it. I've liked Samsung phones the way they feel in the past. The great displays, the boxy metal and glass build. This feels familiar. And the smaller phone is still pretty small. Still bigger than the small iPhone, but it still feels compact, mostly because it's such a narrow aspect ratio like we've seen before. But yeah, that's essentially where we're at. All we really have to do now is wait for the phone to actually be